Team Update 000. The first Tech Challenge competition manual has undergone significant reorganization and modification since the 2023 to 2024 season. The competition manual is the ultimate source for rules and will be updated throughout the season to reflect any clarifications or changes. High-level changes to the format of the manual were addressed in this blog post. When reading the competition manual, avoid making any assumptions based on previous year's rules or prior interpretations. It's important to read the whole manual at least once and become an expert on sections of the manual that directly relate to your role and responsibilities on your team. Teams are welcome to view existing questions and answers, and to ask thoughtful and informed questions through the official Q&A system opening at September 16, 2024, 12 p.m. ET. Before asking a question, please review Section 1.10 in the competition manual for information on what types of questions should be asked. Content change is a summary of major content changes made since the preview version of the manual V0 was released in July can be found below. In addition to what is listed below, other editorial changes to verbiage and modifications to figures and examples have been made. Be sure to read the current version of the competition manual in its entirety to see all updates and changes. Section 1 Introduction added more precision to metric dimensions as described in Section 1.7. Imperial dimensions are followed by comparable metric dimensions in parentheses to provide metric users with the approximate size, mass, etc. Metric conversions, e.g. dimensions round to the nearest tenths, e.g. 1705 in, 44.5 centimeters. Section 5 Event Rules. Multiple rules have added text for clarity in this section. Make sure to read the updated section for the most current wording. E702. Pit person limit during ceremonies is 5. No more than 5 team members may be in the pits during ceremonies outside of playoff matches. Each team must have at least one representative observing ceremonies to be responsible to relay important information to the entire team. Section 12 Robot Construction Rules R104. There is a horizontal expansion limit. Horizontal expansion limit rules have been updated for clarity with revised wording to the rule text, additions to the orange box text, updated figure 12:1 expansion limits, new figure 12:2 expansion limit examples. R402. Robot signs indicate your alliance. E cannot be powered or rely on power from any sources to illuminate, reveal alliance color. R504. Do not modify actuators unless explicitly allowed. B. The electrical leads may be trimmed to length as necessary and connectors or splices too. Additional wiring may be added, and purely electrical enclosures can be substituted with functionally equivalent replacements. R505. All actuators must be powered from approved devices. Table 12.3, Power Regulators and Limits. Power Regulating Device Rev Robotics Servo Hub. Part number Rev 11-1855. Load limit per device, 2 servos per port. Additionally, references to the Rev Robotics Servo Hub have been added to relevant tables in R614, R619, R713. R609. Connect the robot battery safely though the main power switch. Table 0-1, Legal Power Switches. Power Switch Studica On-Off Power Switch Kit. Part number 7182. R702. Teams may not alter coprocessor software. Modifying software on coprocessors, unless explicitly permitted in this rule or Rule R703, is not allowed by teams. Firmware updates in binary form provided by the manufacturer may be applied as directed by the manufacturer. The following are examples of allowed devices. Example 1. The Adafruit BNO055 Absolute Orientation Sensor is an IMU package with an onboard ARM Cortex-M0-based coprocessor to crunch sensor data and produce composite output. Its coprocessor contains software that is not intended by the manufacturer to be modified by users. Example 2. The SparkFun Optical Tracking Odometry Sensor is a laser and IMU tracking device that uses an onboard microcontroller to perform complex calculations and produce simplified results. SparkFun does provide the source code and toolchain for advanced users to modify, update the software, which is not permitted by this rule. Firmware updates provided by SparkFun are allowed to be applied to the device. Example 3. The Digital Chicken Labs OctaQuad FTC Edition is an 8-channel encoder PWM interface, utilizing a Raspberry Pi Pico coprocessor. Teams are not permitted to modify software running on the device, including replacing the software with their own. Updates provided in binary form by the manufacturer Digital Chicken Labs may be applied to the device. R703. Some vision coprocessors can be programmed. Programmable vision coprocessors that are natively supported by the FTC SDK may be programmed. The programmable vision coprocessors that are supported are Table 0 to 2, supported programmable vision coprocessors. Device part number. Limelight Vision Limelight 3A LL3A. Example 1. Optical flow sensors are an example of a sensor that utilizes a vision coprocessor that is treated no differently than other coprocessors per R702. Example 2. The DeefRobot HuskyLens and the Charmed Labs Pixie 2 are examples of vision coprocessors that are configurable but not programmable and are treated no differently than other coprocessors per R702. Example 3. The OpenMV Cam, Luxonis Oak 1, and Limelight Vision Limelight 3 grams are examples of programmable vision coprocessors that are prohibited. See R715 for more information regarding vision coprocessor support. R706. Bandwidth is restricted. While in the arena and match queue devices on the robot network are limited to only the robot controller device and the driver station device, and communication between the robot controller and the driver station device is limited to robot command data from the driver station app, debugging data and telemetry from the robot controller app to the driver station app, and single frame images used during robot setup pre-match. When not in the arena or match queue, additional devices including but not limited to programming computers may also communicate on the robot network, and teams must be careful to limit Wi-Fi streaming bandwidth between devices. R710. Use assigned Wi-Fi bands and/or channels if requested. Teams may be asked by the event director to use a specific Wi-Fi frequency band or channel on the day of competition. If requested, teams are required to do so. Teams may work with the FTA or Wireless Technical Advisor WTA to find an alternate frequency band or channel if the suggested band, channel is deemed problematic by the FTA or WTA. 710 RANs, 717 RANs. Rules from R710 to R717 have been renumbered to make room for R710. R715. Use only supported USB vision. Only single image sensor vision devices that are natively supported by the robot controller app are allowed to connect to USB. Stereoscopic cameras are not allowed. This includes the following: A. All UVC compatible USB webcams, Logitech C270 and related, and B. Vision coprocessors allowed per R703. To request support or to provide sample drivers for alternate USB vision devices for inclusion in future First Tech Challenge seasons, please use the part suggestion form. UVC-compatible USB webcams may only use the UVC-provided stream data. No other interfaces or data provided by the webcam may be used.